For leadership, we're going to go over our chapter 1 module for leadership as service. All right, so what we're going to go over is the prefect of chapter 1, which is we're going to be talking a lot about what is social change. So, what is social change? So, the social change model of leadership development, also I'll refer it as SEM, basically approaches leadership as a purposeful, collaborative, values based process that results in positive social change. Okay, so what are we going to go over? Part of it is the key assumptions of leadership, which leadership in this case, in this book, is concerned with the affecting change of behalf of others and society. Okay, so we're going to be affecting the change on behalf of others and our society around us. So we know that leadership is collaborative, leadership is a process rather than a position, and also leadership should be value based. Okay, um, all students, not just those who hold any kind of formal positions, are potential leaders. Okay, let me go over that again. All students, not just the ones who hold any kind of formal position. So that means you, not the president of KSU, not any kind of other important people. You are potential leaders. Okay? We also know that service is a powerful vehicle for developing students' leadership skills. Okay? It's not about just the title, you have to serve in order to be a leader. Okay, so the goals of the social change model. The social change model focuses on two primary goals. Okay, the first goal that we're going to go over basically is to enhance students' learning and development. Okay, specifically to develop in each student's participant. Okay, how do we do this? Through self knowledge. You need to understand one's talents, you need to understand your values, you need to understand your interests, specifically and especially those as they relate to the capacity to provide effective leadership in your life. Okay, leadership as competence. Okay, which means the capacity to mobilize oneself and others to serve um, and work collaboratively. Okay. Um, and then the second one is to facilitate positive social change at the institution, which in this case would be college or Kennesaw University, or in your community, which it could be Kennesaw, Woodstock, Cherokee, Cobb, wherever you live. That is, students should undertake actions which include, but may not be limited to, help the institution and your community to function more effectively and humanely. Okay? Um, so what I'm going to go over are the 7 C's of leadership. Okay, basically these are some dimensions or values of leadership for social change. Okay, the first C. Okay, so the first one is societal slash community values. All right, so citizenship. You need to have your own set of citizenship in this community. I'm not talking about literally citizenship, but your own sense of belonging. Okay, you need to have group values, which may include collaboration, common purpose, controversy with civility, okay? Individual values. You need to have consciousness of yourself, congruence, commitment to yourself, all right? Basically, a few things of the brief history of the social change model. The social change model was developed by a team of leadership educators and scholars around 1993 to 1996. Okay, the group was concerned that college students needed to value collective action for social change and to learn to work with others in socially responsible ways. They developed this values based model that focused on how individuals can work with others to address shared social concerns. Okay, so that's basically when it was developed. So we know the most important thing that you need to remember is that it was developed in 1993 to 1996 by a group that was concerned that college students needed to have a little bit more of a collective action for social change. Okay, um, so why do we study this? What's the purpose of studying the social change model? The social change model basically is the focus of this is to encourage you as a college student to develop your capacity to work with others as well as to engage in leadership to address the shared purpose. So you all have a purpose and we all want to share that. So now we need to address that, okay? How um, how? Because you are encouraged to raise your awareness of social issues that need attention and identify ways to promote effectively addressing those issues. Okay, so we need to be able to address those issues, but not just able to address them, but we need to address them efficiently. Okay, and effectively. So to become a leader, like part of in the book, according to Dennis, to become a leader then you must become yourself, become the maker of your own life. Okay, throughout the study of this module, okay, and this model, which is the social change model, you will be asked to reflect on how you are becoming the specific leadership dimension, okay, being presented in this chapter. All right. So the first part that we're doing is chapter one, okay, through four, and then that's the first part. Then part two, three, and four is chapters 5 through 11, okay, in which we'll break down the seven C's, all right. And then finally, part five is chapter 12 is becoming the changing agent. The changing agent, somebody who acts on somebody's behalf or a group of people. All right. So social change. This part one. Social change includes acts that aim to improve the human condition or care for the environment. Okay, it also the leadership for social change is the opportunity people have to direct change towards the future we desire. Leadership means, and get this clearly, okay, leadership means responsibly choosing courses of action towards a desirable future. So let's start with chapter one. What is social change? How are college students finding out ways to make a positive difference on their campuses or in their communities? This may be that some students can come to social change through leadership, while others may come to leadership through an interest in social change. Either way, the social change model identifies the two as having a very powerful influence on each other, so they're intertwined together. The book was originally written, and we know, hopefully, have purchased the book already. The book was originally written as a guide for college students to want to work with others to create a social change. However, the book, the authors of this book, make the PowerPoint and the point that the leadership concepts developed in the social change model can be related to a variety of contexts. Okay, so it could be motivations to get involved in social change, maybe a faith in a person's ability to make an impact. How about maybe potential pitfalls of social change? Okay, so what is meant by social change? Okay, social change addresses each person's sense of responsibility to others and the realization that making things better for one part of society makes things better for the society as a whole. Let's go over that again. Social change addresses each person's sense of responsibility to others and the realization that making things better for one part of society make things better for society as a whole. Okay, so this author really describes the criteria that distinguishes social change from charity. Okay, this social change is not charity. Why? Because it's giving attention to the root causes of the problem rather than addressing the top of the problem. Okay, so it's collaboration with others as well. Okay, social change addresses the root of the problem, so we know that, rather than the surface level issues they create. Okay, for example, if one volunteers at a homeless shelter by serving food, handing out clothes, this addresses the symptoms of the problem of homelessness. Okay, these are very important services. However, social change efforts differ by becoming educated about why people are homeless, what issues contribute to the homelessness problem in one's community. Okay, social change is done collaboratively. Sorry, in contrast to the cowboy approach, where one comes in, fixes the problem, and leaves. Social change requires building relationships with others and taking action together. Okay, who decides whether this is a good thing or not? What if the community doesn't want change? Building relationships in the community and collaborating with others is the key to avoiding the position in which a person's point of view changes with others. Okay. Um, Social change is definitely, as you can tell, not simple. Okay, why not? Because this is very difficult to maintain hope and commitment when there are no immediate signs of success, and when the role one plays in the effort seems insignificant in comparison to the problem. Okay, despite of these challenges, many students commit to working with others to improve life in the community or on their campuses. It's not an easy task, especially when you know that you're not seeing the immediate results. We all want to see immediate results, but one of the things that we need to know about the social change model is that it does not produce immediate results. It is a long life process of where we're trying to change something in society. Okay? Um, so you say, why get involved? in social change if it's not an immediate thing of results. Basically, as you read throughout the book, it'll show you that volunteering in the 1900s versus today. In the past, students volunteered individually rather than with an organized effort, and they were often very cynical about usefulness of political organizations or the importance of becoming politically involved. Okay, now let's go back 17 years later. In contrast, a 2007 study that was done found that 92%, get this, 92% of college students said that they believed that they were working together as a group can make a difference in solving the problems in their community. So 92% of students believe that working together as a group in their community will ultimately make more of a difference than working individually. Okay? Um, Reasons for getting involved in social change efforts can include having a personal connection to the social issue or problem being addressed. Okay, maybe it's enjoying a connection with others that emerges from working together on a social problem. Okay, having a sense of this interconnectedness in the community issues. Okay, that's that's what it's all about. Recognizing that helping others ultimately helps oneself. Okay, you help another person, ultimately you're helping yourself by doing so. Experiencing a deep satisfaction from being involved and making a difference for something that truly matters in your life. So you have to find what you're passionate about. Oh, some of you guys may be sitting there and you might be saying, but I'm not a hero, I'm a regular person. So, how do you tackle this mentality that we have? Okay, think of people whose efforts have made positive difference in society. Even though they have may become famous for their deeds, they all had to start out at the beginning of their journey, learning as they went on, making mistakes along the way. Okay? Some of the examples that are mentioned in the text include Marion Wright Edelman, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Cesar Chavez, even though not the best person, however, he was a very influential leader. The lesson learned from these people is that one doesn't become an expert on social issues before getting involved. Okay, you do not, get this, you do not become an expert on social issues before getting involved. Okay, rather, one becomes an expert through involvement and learning from experience. Okay, um, so some of the possible pitfalls in social change. Okay, let's go over paternalism. Okay, basically this means father knows best. We all have heard this before. Attitude maintains an unequal relationship between the helpers and the people being helped. Okay, the helped are not empowered to create their own solutions. Okay, so we want to empower people to create their own solutions. Okay, another aspect is that may be a pitfall in social change is assimilation. Okay, assumes that this basically, literally, assumes that the way one's own community or culture addresses an issue is the best way. People may attempt to fix another community by helping it become more like their own. Okay. Then there is another pitfall, which may be the deficit-based perspective of the community. Okay, basically this sees only the problem in a community. In contrast, an asset-based view starts by identifying the resources a community has and can make it stronger, and then considers how these assets can be applied. Okay, one key to avoiding many of these pitfalls is to replace notions of helping others or fixing others with a sense of being in a community with others. All right, so then there's socially responsible leadership. Okay, so let's go over this. All right, so the social change model was created for those who want to learn how to work effectively with others for the public good. However, its values are also useful for organizations whose mission is not service related. Okay, so the social change model is collaboratively rather than coercively. Okay, civil and respectful rather than defensive. Often it is open to very different perspectives and clear and consistent about the values rather than being very hypocritical. Okay, socially responsible leadership is an approach that maintains a sense of responsibility for the welfare of others. Okay, our textbook gives examples of companies that are certainly in the business to make a profit, yet they are also addressing their desires to have positive influence through their ways of doing business. Okay, Okay, so they want to influence other businesses. Okay, social change and leadership. Okay, by their definitions, working for social change and practicing leadership both imply collaborative efforts. Okay, or people working together towards one shared goal. Okay, if both social change and leadership are group efforts, then being able to do them requires effective approaches to working in groups. The social change model of leadership often calls it to the attention to the strong connection between getting involved in social change and learning to practice leadership. Okay, um, a quote from the Higher One, the Higher Education Research Institute, basically says that we regard a leader as one who is able to effect positive change for the betterment of others, the community, and society. All people, in other words, are potential leaders. Why? Because all people have the ability to effect positive change to other people. Okay. So to conclude with this, working for social change, all it means is just working to make a positive difference for the common good in the ways that are collaborative and that addresses the root causes of the problems. People are inspired to do social change for various reasons and are very inspired to get involved on campus, community, national, and even global levels.